Welcome to Civils Online, your affordable personal coach. This is part of Civil Services Prelims course, and this is for geography class. So, we follow NCERT textbooks to cover geography subject because geography is very important for prelims and mains. That too, particularly, one has to follow the standard source of NCERT textbooks. In previous classes, we already started with the sixth class geography lessons, and we went through few basics and then through few lessons. We will want to have a recap of these things so that we will remember them well, and there will be a connectivity with previous classes. So we discussed about what is geography, the definition of geography, that is geography is being the description of earth as the abode, that is a dwelling place of human beings. Then we discussed what are the main branches of geography, and we came to know that there are three main branches of geography. These are physical geography, human geography, and economic geography. Then we came to know about geography from UPSC exam point of view, and we came to know that it is important for prelims, mains, as well as all sections of the UPSC exam. And we actually gone through the questions that are given in prelims last year's paper, and how the geography questions and what type of geography questions are being asked. Then we looked at geography NCERT syllabus. For geography subject, from 6th class to 12th class, all the class lessons are important. We will go through all these classes. The classes will go like from the basics to further detailed analysis will go till the 12th class. Don't worry, because some of the lessons discussed in the earlier classes will again come in higher classes, but we will go through each class gradually so that that will be easy for our understanding and the fundamentals will be strong. So we discussed about, we started with the 6th class geography lesson, that is Earth or Habitat. We already discussed 1, 2, 3 and 4 chapters, and today we are going to discuss 5th and 6th chapter. So in the first chapter, that is Earth in the solar system, we realized the position of Earth in the solar system and in the Milky Way and in the whole universe. And we studied about in the second lesson the globe latitudes and longitudes on the Earth's surface, how to find a particular place. For that the reason we have latitudes and longitudes, which are imaginary lines. Then the third lesson, that is motions of the Earth. Because of the two motions of Earth, revolution and rotation. Because of the revolution, the seasons are being formed, and because of the rotation, the days and nights are being formed. Then we discussed the fourth chapter, that is maps, and how the maps are being used in geography to know about a particular place. So in the maps, we realized what kind of different maps are there, like political, thematic, and physical maps, and what is what are the important constituents of maps, like distance, direction, and time. Then in all these four chapters we came to know all the fundamentals of geography. Now we are into fifth and sixth lessons. Fifth lesson talks about major domains of the earth, and sixth lesson is about major landforms of the earth. See, now because geography is description of the earth, so now we came onto the surface of the earth. We want to define what are the domains, and then we want to study what are the landforms. So let's go to the NCERT lessons PDF, where we can discuss in detail about these two chapters. Yes. Now we are into the NCERT PDF. Here we have fifth lesson, that is major domains of Earth. This is on the surface of the Earth. What are the different major domains? So major domains of the Earth. Let's go through this NCERT PDF. So the major domains of Earth are three. The first one is lithosphere, the second one is atmosphere, and the third one is hydrosphere. Combining these three, we have a zone called biosphere, which is a narrow zone combined of the three above spheres. So from where these words are originated: lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. It shows in here. It's in Greek language. Lithos means stone, atmos means vapor. It represents air. Hydor means water, and bios means life. So based on these meanings, the domains names are given. So let's go to the first domain, that is lithosphere. So lith is stone. So the solid portion of the earth is called lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and thin layers of soil that contain nutrient elements which sustain organisms. So again, this lithosphere is divided into two. There are The first division is known as continents. These are large land masses, and the second division is known as ocean basin. These are huge water bodies. So let's look at these things. So here one map is given, map of landforms of Earth, particularly for the lithosphere. We'll come back again once we discuss about each particular continent and oceans. So continents, the first division of lithosphere. So what are continents? So there are seven continents in the world. These are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. So we will look at the map again to know about these continents. Apart from continents, yeah, we will discuss about hydrosphere later. Let's look at the map. So here in this map, the oceans are given in blue color and the continents are in different colors. We can observe from here. So there are these major seven continents. Those are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica. These are seven continents. And here there are some prominent landforms are also given. We can observe those. And there are five major oceans. These are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. So when coming to Asia, Asia is the largest continent. Here you have Tibetan Plateau and Himalayas. Himalayas are the highest peaks in the world, and Tibetan Plateau is the highest tableland. Here are Ural Mountains, which divide European landmass and Asian landmass. So Asia is surrounded by Indian Ocean on the south and Pacific Ocean on the east. The second largest continent is Africa. Africa is the continent which stretches across northern and southern hemisphere also. And when coming to Asia, it is almost is in northern hemisphere. But Africa spreads both in northern hemisphere as well as southern hemisphere. And also one more specialty is these major lines of latitudes: the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, and Tropic of Cancer pass through the continent of Africa. No other continent have all these lines passing through them. Then there is a it's the longest river. Nile River is in Africa, and you have Atlas Mountains at the northern end of African continent, and you have Sahara Desert as well, which is largest hot desert in the world. And Africa is surrounded by oceans. At east, it is surrounded by Indian Ocean. At south, there is Southern Ocean. At west, you have Atlantic Ocean, and at north, there is Mediterranean Sea. Coming to North America, this is third largest continent. There are Rocky Mountains and Appalachian Mountains in North America. North America is almost in the northern hemisphere, and on the east there is Atlantic Ocean, and on the west there is Pacific Ocean. To the south of North America there is a continent of South America. So here, the North America is separated by the continent of Asia by a narrow strait of water body called Bering Strait. And we have South America. South America is almost in the southern hemisphere. And you have Andes mountains running across north to south in South America, which is longest mountain range in the world. And you have Amazon River basin in South America, which is largest river, whereas Nile is longest river. And on the east, you have Atlantic Ocean for South America, and at the west there is Pacific Ocean. And here we can observe North America and South America are connected by a very narrow strip of land. This kind of narrow strips which are connecting two larger bodies are known as isthmus, and this particular isthmus which connects North America and South America is known as Isthmus of Panama. Then coming to Europe continent, it is somewhat smaller in size, but its coastline is very much indented. So the coastline is cut so that it is easy for building up ports and navigation. It is surrounded on three sides by oceans and seas. You can see Arctic Ocean is surrounding it on the northern side, and on the western side there is Atlantic Ocean, and in the southern side it has Mediterranean Sea. Alps mountains are there in Europe. Then coming to Australia, it is an island continent because on all sides it is surrounded by oceans. There is great sandy desert in Australia and great dividing range mountains. Coming to Antarctica, it is a large mass of ice. Almost at the middle of Antarctica, there is South Pole. The temperatures are always freezing, and it is not habitable by human beings, so there are no human settlements. But many countries have their research centers here, and even India has its own research centers here, which are called as Dakshin Gangotri and Maitri. And you have different oceans as well. We will come back here when we discuss about hydrosphere. Yes. We discussed about continents, Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, and here whatever we already discussed. So here they have given a diagram actually. So the narrow strip of land joining two land masses is called isthmus, and the narrow water body which is connecting two large water bodies. It's a narrow passage of water connecting two large water bodies like oceans and seas. Here one example of strait is given. This strait is known as Palk Strait, which is separating India and Sri Lanka land masses. We discussed about Australia, Antarctica. And coming to hydrosphere, yeah, Earth is called as a blue planet because 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water and only 29% is land. So hydrosphere it consists of water in various forms as running water in oceans, rivers and lakes, and ice in glaciers, and underground water and water vapor in atmosphere. All these comprise hydrosphere. But 90% of the Earth's water is found in oceans and it is too salty for human use. Though we have a lot of water and Earth is called as a blue planet for human consumption, this water is not enough because only the fresh water which can be taken by human beings actually 2.8% constitutes the fresh water out of the total waters. But this water is mostly 2.77% is stored in ice sheets and groundwater. So only 0.03% of fresh water, that is minuscule proportion of the whole percentage of water, is available to human consumption, maybe in the form of rivers, lakes, etc. So it makes sense to use water very efficiently, and we have to conserve water so that we don't get the scarcity of water, and also to protect the future generations from water scarcity. Here this map of the world, continents and oceans are given. Uh, the blocks are given just to compare the area of the different continents. By counting the squares, we can actually get the which continent is larger than the another. So let's discuss about oceans. So as we discussed, oceans are part of the hydrosphere. So yeah, let's go to the map again so that we can discuss about these oceans. The world map. Yes. So these are the oceans which are in blue color. As we discussed, Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean, which is almost in O shape. So Pacific Ocean, there are many deepest points in Pacific Ocean, like Mariana Trench, which is deeper than more than 10 kilometers. So even the highest peak on the world, Everest Mountain, if we keep it in Mariana Trench, it won't come out. It will completely submerge in the water. So its depth is more than the height of the Everest mountains. So and also there are many earthquakes because the tectonic plates merge and diverge in Pacific Ocean. So there are many volcanic activity and earthquake prone region. So it is also called as a ring of fire with a lot of volcanoes in the Pacific Ocean. Then coming to second ocean, that is Atlantic Ocean. This is second one according to the size, and it is in S shape. One can observe it is in S shape. It is one of the busiest oceans in terms of transport of goods through ships. So Atlantic Ocean is in both the hemispheres. Then the third one is Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is in almost in triangle shape. Indian Ocean, unlike Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean, is only in one hemisphere, completely in southern hemisphere almost. Then, so this is the only ocean which is named after a country, that is India. Then you have Southern Ocean. This is actually the southern parts of all the world oceans. This is Southern Ocean. Then we have Arctic Ocean here. So Arctic Ocean, beyond Arctic Circle, there are freezing temperatures, and most of the year the water will be in frozen state. So these are about the oceans. So we discussed about continents and oceans, and we completed lithosphere and hydrosphere. So lithosphere, land forms, the land masses of continents will form the part of lithosphere, and the hydrosphere we discussed oceans as well. So now let's discuss about the third domain of Earth, which is atmosphere. Atmos is air. The Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas called atmosphere. This thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. So this is the air we breathe, and it protects us from harmful effects of the sun rays as well, like ultraviolet radiation that is coming from the cosmos. It extends up to the height of 1600 kilometers, and the atmosphere, this domain of Earth, is divided into 5 layers based on the composition, temperature, and other properties. So these layers, starting from Earth's surface, are called 1. Troposphere, 2. Stratosphere, 3. Mesosphere, 4. Thermosphere, and the last one, the fifth one, is exosphere. And the constitution of atmosphere, what are the components of atmosphere, what gases constitute? So this is mainly composed of two gases, nitrogen and oxygen. These two together makes up 99% of air. So nitrogen constitutes 78% and oxygen is 21%. And other gases like carbon dioxide, argon, etc. comprise only 1% by volume. So oxygen is required for our breathing process, and nitrogen is required for growth of living organisms like plants. But carbon dioxide, though present in very minute proportion, it is very important because it absorbs heat radiated by Earth, thereby keeping the planet warm. So without carbon dioxide, the Earth would have been, completely like a pole kind of region. Carbon dioxide is also essential for the growth of plants. So, and also the density of atmosphere varies with height. Here, the picture is given. So all the 5 layers of the atmosphere are given here. You can see troposphere, where hot air balloons are blown. Then you have aeroplanes are also going through. Then you have stratosphere. All the meteoroids and asteroids that are falling into Earth's surface actually get burnt in this layer because of the friction and heat generated because of the air. Then you have mesosphere, where all these jet planes, the rockets will go. Thermosphere, you have exosphere, the satellites, the artificial satellites will be revolving around the Earth in this exosphere. And also the density of air when we are going above from the Earth's surface will decrease. So the density of air is maximum at sea level and it decreases rapidly as we go up. So like in highest mountains like Himalayas, the climbers experience problems in breathing because of the decrease in air density. So that's the reason the mountain airs carry their own supply of oxygen uh, to breathe at higher altitudes. The temperature also decreases as we go upwards. And the atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth. This varies from place to place. Some areas experience high pressure, whereas some areas experience low pressure. So the air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Moving air is known as winds. So the winds actually is an important topic we will discuss in the later classes. But we have to know that the air moves from the high pressure to low pressure, which creates winds. So this is about atmosphere, the third domain of Earth. So combining these 3 domains, that is lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, the combination is called biosphere, which is the domain of life. The biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between land, water, and air. So it is in this zone that life that is unique to this planet exists. So here one beautiful picture is given, which constitutes the combination of the 3, land, air, and water. So all these things together, then only the human beings and other animals and birds can sustain their lives. So the organisms are part of these biospheres, and we can classify these organisms into 2 types. One is plant kingdom, the other one is animal kingdom. So from these, from this biosphere only, we are getting all the things that are required for our life. So even the biosphere and all these other domains can go through some changes because of the human induced or because of the natural reasons. Natural reasons like we may cut the forests to make way for agriculture or for our needs for wood. This will actually change the lithosphere because the soil may get eroded, and natural calamities like earthquakes and tsunamis can actually submerge the land, such kind of things. So these domains can be changed naturally or because of the human activities. Even the atmosphere can get polluted because of the natural processes like volcanic eruptions or because of human induced like automobiles, factories, etc. Burning of fuels which release a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Even hydrosphere can be get polluted if we discharge waste material into lakes and rivers, which makes the water unsuitable for human use. And it also damages the life forms that are living in oceans, seas, and rivers, etc. So, what we have to do is, because this biosphere combination of these domains is very important for our own existence. So, it is imperative to protect this biosphere so that all animals and plants can live happily. So there are these questions. You can go through the questions in the PDF and try to answer these questions. So these questions are important for prelims exam. And if you have any doubts about this lesson, you can come back to me. You can contact the contact details or leave comments in the comment section so that we can respond back. Now we will go to the second lesson in this video, that is the 6th chapter, and its name is Major Landforms of the Earth. So we discussed about domains. Now we are coming into more details. This is geography. We are trying to explain the Earth's surface as a dwelling place of human beings. Now we came to understand what are the landforms of the Earth. As the name signifies, this is land. So these are part of lithosphere. So basically, the landforms are formed because of two processes. One is internal process, the other one is external process. So yes, the internal process happens within the surface of Earth, and which leads to two things: upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface at several places. So both upliftment can happen and sinking can happen. So it's generation or destruction. Both things can happen. And we have external process as well. In the external process also, two things will happen. Before that, here is one beautiful diagram given. Here you can see many of the Earth landforms which are part of Earth lithosphere. We can see here. So I will just name them slowly. So here is a mountain. It is a one form of landform. You have mountain range. You have basin. You have a hill here of lesser height than the mountain. You have plateau here. It's a tableland. And you have a lake here, and you have a river here which is flowing from the mountains to the plains, and here is a tributary of the river. And here the river again gets divided into many distributaries, and there are deltas formed because of the river, and here the mouth of the river where the river is merging into the sea. And here is a peninsula which is surrounded by water on the all sides, all three sides. And here we have a isthmus, so which is a land narrow strip of land which is connecting two large land masses. And here is a coast, and here is a strait which is connecting two large water masses. Here is an island which is surrounded on all sides by water, and here is a plain which is a plain region. So it's a beautiful picture explaining many of the Earth's landforms. So as we discussed, there are two processes that are going on to form different kinds of landforms. So there is one internal process and there is one external process. The external process will do continuous wearing down and rebuilding of land surface. So it will do two activities. It will wear down the land surface and it will rebuild the land surface. Again, generation and destruction. So both the internal and external processes will do the same things. So either it may create something or it may destroy something. So combination of these two forces, internal and external, we will see the present form of landforms. So suppose one internal process will create a feature which will be acted upon by the external forces, and it will change the shape of that landform, and it will form the final look of the landform. So whatever landforms we are seeing now on the Earth's surface are a result of these two forces acting together. The external process will wear away the Earth's surface. It is known as erosion. And the surface being lowered by the process of erosion, and then again it's rebuilt by the process of deposition. Deposition, the materials will be deposited somewhere. So that erosion and deposition are carried out by running water, ice, and wind. So we can group different landforms depending on elevation and slope. The characteristics are elevation, that is height, and slope. So these different landforms are mountains, plateaus, and plains. Let's discuss about these landforms. Mountains. So mountain is any natural elevation of the Earth's surface. So the significant feature is the mountains have small summit and a broad base. It is considerably higher than the surrounding areas. Some mountains are even higher than the clouds. As we go up on mountains, the temperature becomes low. And there are some permanently frozen rivers of ice on the mountains. They are called glaciers. There are some mountains under sea as well, which we cannot see. Because of the harsh climate, less people live in mountains. It doesn't mean that people won't live, but very few people live there, and they face a lot of hardships, and they change their lifestyle according to the geographic features there in the mountains. Since slopes are steep, less land is available for farming as well. So they may apply different techniques for farming. Mountains are generally arranged in a line known as range. So mountains may consist of a series of parallel ranges like Himalayas, Alps and Andes are mountain ranges in Asia, Europe and South America respectively. Even in mountains also there are different types actually. There are three types. One is fold mountain, the second one is block mountain and the third one is volcanic mountain. Let's see what these mountains are. So fold mountains are because of the fold will happen in the earth surface because of the folding nature, because of the movement of the plates or because of some other processes. Folds will happen on the earth's crust which will form mountain ranges like Himalayas. Block mountains are like formed, these are created when large areas are broken and displaced vertically. The displacement happens vertically, not horizontally, it happens vertically to form these block mountains. The uplifted blocks are called horsts and the lowered blocks are called graben. So here we can see there is before there is a flat land and there is a vertical displacement of land broken and displaced. The higher areas are called horsts and the lower lying areas are called graben. So by this there are block mountains created because of these vertical movements. So Rhine Valley and Vosges mountains in Europe are examples of such block mountains. The third type of mountains are volcanic mountains. These are formed due to volcanic activity. So Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama in Japan are examples of such mountains. Volcanic activity, so magma from Earth's inner surface actually come out and the lava will be spread around that hole and it will form as a volcanic cone. These cones are formed into mountains over time. And mountains are very useful actually. Mountains are storehouse of water because there are frozen glaciers and also a lot of rainfall will be there. So reservoirs can also be constructed in mountains because of their height and feature. Water from mountains is also used for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. The river valleys and terraces are ideal for cultivation of crops, and mountains have a rich variety of flora and fauna. These forests provide fuel, fodder, shelter, and other products, etc. And also, mountains provide good site for tourism, right? I mean, because of their scenic beauty, and many sports like paragliding, hand gliding, river rafting, skiing, etc. can be played in these mountain regions. So here the picture of volcanic mountains are given. See how the magma is coming out and the layers of lava are being formed to form a mountain here. So here the actual picture of a mountain is given. This is volcanic mountain. So because of the height you can see the snow that is clad on the surface and there is a flat surface on the top. This is volcanic hole actually, from which the lava may come out if the volcanic mountain is active. So coming to the other landform, which is plateau. Plateau is a elevated flat land. So it is a flat topped tableland standing above the surrounding areas. It can be somewhat flat, but compared to the surrounding area, it is on a like a table. It's on a height. It's a flat land which is on a height when compared to other regions. So the plateau may have one or more sides with steep slopes because it has this height, right? So it may have some steep slopes as well on the sides. The height of plateau often varies from a few hundred meters to several thousand meters as well. That means that they are more higher than some mountains even. So plateaus like mountains can be young or old. And in India, we have examples of very old plateaus, that is Deccan Plateau, East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, and Western Plateau of Australia. These are examples. The Tibet Plateau is the highest plateau in the world with a height of 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the mean sea level. See, many of the mountains in the world are won't come into this range of 6,000 kilometers. So this is higher than some of the mountains. Plateaus are also very much useful because they are rich in mineral deposits, because a lot of rocks will be there. So a lot of mineral deposits will be there. So many of the mining areas in the world are located in the plateau areas only. The African plateau is famous for gold and diamond mining. In India, huge reserves of iron, coal, and manganese are found in the Chota Nagpur plateau. Even plateaus form many waterfalls because rivers fall from a great height. In India, the Hundru Falls in the Chota Nagpur plateau on the river Subarnarekha and Jog Falls in Karnataka are examples of such waterfalls. The lava plateaus are rich in black soil, which is fertile and good for cultivation. So this is about plateaus. Now talking about the landform plains. Plains are large stretches of flat land. They are generally not more than 200 meters above mean sea level. That's the reason plains may often get flooded in the rainy season. Some plains are extremely level. That means that there is no undulation, etc. But some plains might be slightly rolling and undulating. Most of the plains are formed by rivers and their tributaries. The rivers flowing down the slopes of mountains erode those mountains and bring a lot of eroded materials. So they deposit all that material, stones, sand, and silt, clay, along the. So this eroded material will be transported, and these will be formed into plains. So generally, these plains are very fertile because, and also the construction of transport network is easy. That's the reason these plains are very thickly populated regions of the world. Some of the examples of largest plains made by the rivers are found in Asia and North America. For example, in Asia, we have Ganga and Brahmaputra plains in India and Yangtze in China. Plains are most useful areas for human habitation. So there is a great concentration of people as more flat land is available for building houses as well as for cultivation. So here is one picture given of plains. Here you can see the land is very much flat, and you can see many crops are being grown, and you can see there are no mountains or any hills around the area because the area is completely flat. You can see many crops are being grown. Even the land is very much fertile. So this is about different landforms. We discussed about mountains, plateau, and plains. We came to know that there are two processes that are working on the lithosphere to form different landforms. These two forces are internal process and external process. These do the both activities like generation and destruction, and will form the different landforms. So landforms and people. Landforms are very much important for people. So we have been living on different kinds of landforms. So life is difficult in mountainous areas, and plains are very much useful for human living. And also there are natural calamities like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, storms, and floods that cause widespread destruction. Huge loss of life and property will be there. So actually, to avoid such kind of losses and disasters in the landforms, we should get used to such kind of events by spreading the information among the people, and constructing such kind of mechanisms to avoid such kind of disasters. We should not pollute these resources, these landforms, like throwing garbage on land or making the water dirty. So we can use those gifts of nature very much carefully. So it is our duty to leave our earth a better place for future generations as well. So this is about this lesson, the landforms of the earth. So go through these questions. If you have any doubts, just come back to us, or you can just leave your questions in the comment section. so that we can get clarified. If you have any feedback also, you can just leave your comments in the comment section. So these questions are important for prelims exam, so please go through these questions and try to answer them by the content you learned through these classes. So with this, we completed the lessons 5 and 6, major domains of Earth and major landforms of the Earth. There are two more chapters, 7 and 8 are remaining. We will complete in the next video. With this, we will be able to complete the 6th class geography chapter, that is Earth or Habitat. So queries, if you have any queries and feedback regarding these lessons, you can contact us or leave your comments in the comment section of this video so that we can improve the videos or we can make more videos relating to these subjects. So thank you. So this is Civils Online. Happy learning.